Hi, I'm Gravy.
I'm Noah with the Paranormal Investigators of Milwaukee.
And this is Paranormal Review.
Today we're going to be talking about one of the most famously haunted locations in the U.S., Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Waverly Hills was built in 1926 and opened as a tuberculosis hospital. It operated in that capacity until 1961 when it closed down. It opened up again in 1962 as the Woodhaven Geriatric Sanatorium and operated as such until 1982 when it was closed down due to patient mistreatment. It remained vacant until the early 2000s when the current owners opened it up as a haunted attraction and investigation location. It's rumored that over 63,000 people passed away during the history of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. However, our research and looking into the actual history of the location makes us believe that it's about a tenth of that number, or around 6,000 people. We were interested in investigating Waverly Hills Sanatorium because of the many fantastic claims that we read about in the media. These sorts of claims are not things that we find at normal locations, and so we thought it was worth our time and effort to travel to Waverly Hills Sanatorium and investigate them ourselves.
Waverly Hills is chock full of claims of activity. And some of those include apparitions.
Those are always great to get. We can put our cameras down hallways and hopefully we can catch one.
Shadow figures being seen.
We have our shadow detectors to be able to figure out if something's moving.
Electronic voice phenomenon are very common.
We have a lot of audio recorders we put out on our investigations.
Pretty much every room that we possibly could. There's also been a claim of a man and a dog seen wandering the halls of Waverly Hills, and there's a little history behind that.
Yeah, they actually unfortunately found a homeless person and his dog that had passed away in one of the elevator shafts actually at Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Right, and then there was a nurse that apparently hanged herself on the 5th floor in her room.
Yeah, room 502 supposedly, but historically there's nothing to support that a nurse actually worked there during this time or that would have lived up on that floor. So that's kind of a dubious claim in our mind.
And the most famous claim is the little boy Timmy, who's seen or heard physically manipulating a ball in one of the hallways of Waverly Hills.
Right, and there's balls literally all over the place at Waverly Hills on every floor, but there's also a lot of air currents, and these balls are usually rubber balls, and so it's really easy for those to get moved by the air that's moving through the building naturally. The condition of Waverly Hills Sanatorium leaves a lot to be desired. Most of the windows are broken out, the roof is leaking in many spots, which allows water to infiltrate and leave puddles or have a dripping noise you always have to worry about. And there's a lot of infestations in the building as well. In the hallways, since they're open to the environments, you have bats and birds that can freely fly in and out of the building. And even the body chute, which is one of the common attractions at Waverly Hills Sanatorium, has infestations of its own.
There are also a lot of insects found throughout the building, which could cause false positives on your cameras and even your audio recorders. And about a week after we were there was a 6-foot tree snake hanging from one of the grates in the body chute.
Electricity is sparse throughout the building. You usually have to make sure that you have battery packs with you if you're running anything that requires electricity directly and can't run off a battery itself. So that is a big thing you have to keep in mind.
It's a big building, probably the biggest we've ever visited. It took probably 10 minutes to get anywhere from base camp to one end of the building.
You only have so much time to investigate, and so you really have to take that into account when you're trying to set up equipment across the varied locations at Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
So we'd recommend getting a map and pre-planning your trip there and figure out where you want to put equipment before you actually arrive, because just taking a tour of the place takes up a lot of time. Due to the condition of the building and the location of the building being in the middle of the city and on top of a hill, sound contamination is a serious problem here.
Yeah, and the fact that there's many long hallways that allow sound to really echo down. Things that are very far away can sound very close to you when you're in the building as well.
You can capture sounds of sirens that could sound like screaming women, and you can hear all the street traffic that's around there. Keep that in mind when you're listening to your recorders. Water and wildlife can penetrate the building quite easily.
And this is a major issue when you're talking about investigations because you have your audio recorders and your video recorders running that can capture both the wildlife and the dripping noises coming from the water. And there's also the concern that your equipment might be damaged by the water that has gained access to the building, especially if a rainstorm occurs during your investigation. As far as what's available for you as an investigator at Waverly Hills Sanatorium, there are a few things that you can look forward to. There is a gift shop there, which is where most teams will take their breaks during their investigations. Located in the gift shop, there is access to bathrooms, a water fountain. There's also a refrigerator in there, so you can, if you have any energy drinks or food that needs to be refrigerated that you bring with you, you can access it there as well. When we were there in 2012, we had to go off-site in order to sleep, but they've since in 2016 added a bunkhouse, which is the old pump house of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. And that you have actually access to your own private bathrooms, as well as showers and a place to sleep.
Waverly Hills is located in the middle of Louisville, Kentucky. In fact, if you go to the 5th floor, you can get a good look at the city surrounding it. Within a short drive of Waverly Hills, there's places to sleep, there's places to eat. Anything you want to find is going to be in that area, and pretty much in every price range.
If you're interested in booking a private investigation at Waverly Hills Sanatorium, you have to go online and look to see if your date is available first. If it is, you click on it and you're taken to an Eventbrite link where you have to put down a down payment for your investigation date. It costs at least $1,000 for a private investigation at Waverly Hills. That allows you to investigate from about 8 p.m. till 4 a.m. And there is some flexibility in the start and end times if something would work out better for you. You just have to communicate with the staff directly via the phone number or email located on the Waverly Hills website. You're only allowed to investigate from between Sunday and Thursday because Friday and Saturday nights are reserved for private tours. You're also only able to investigate between the months of March and August.
And because they've been putting such great renovations into the location, you're actually now competing not only with other paranormal investigators, but you're competing with wedding receptions and other events that could be occurring there. So think about booking the location about 6 to 8 months in advance. To answer the question you've all been waiting for, would we return? The answer is maybe. There's a lot of factors behind why we'd return. First of all, it's very expensive to go. Second of all, it's such a gigantic location that it's really hard to investigate the whole building at once. You almost have to separate it maybe several nights in a row. And overall, the condition of the building isn't really ideal for paranormal investigations.
Since it costs at least $1,000 to investigate the location privately, it is definitely a hard thing to come up with for a lot of teams, including ourselves. And for us to really investigate it properly, we'd want to investigate for multiple nights. So we're talking about multiple thousands of dollars that we would have to dedicate to investigate this location properly. Well, that's all we have for our video of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Thank you so much for watching. If there's any questions we didn't cover in this video that you'd like to know, please put those in the comments below. We'll make sure to take a look at those and answer them when we can.
And don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell to get further notifications when we have videos like this for you.
We have lots more information about Waverly Hills on our website, so please check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, or you know someone else who might, please make sure to share that with them because we'd love to get some more followers for our channel.
I'm Gravy.
And I'm Noah with the Paranormal Investigators Milwaukee.
And this has been Paranormal Review.
We were interested in investigating Waverly Hills Sanatorium because of the many claims of activity that have been reported to us directly by all the people that were ever there. There's lots of fun things to do in Louisville, Kentucky, if you know what I mean.
If you go to the 5th floor of Louisville, Waverly Hills appears to be in the dead center of Waverly. Due to the condition of the building, water and wildlife penetrate the... Sorry.